Cats have been with humans for most of recorded history, companions who've grown with us as our civilizations rose and fell, so it's only fitting that this creature type make its way onto nearly every plane of Magic the Gathering's multiverse. With humanoid cat warriors living in the underbellies of Ixalan, wild cats stalking Tarkir, or regal felines with pitch black fur calling the dunes of Amonkhet home. Being that they're so intertwined with this game, their history is filled with interesting tidbits of information and notable cards, which I have gathered for you in this video. So when talking about the history of this game, there is only one place to start: the beginning. Cats have been part of Magic the Gathering since the very first set of the game Alpha, with the card Savannah Lions, though at the time it was tagged with the lion type. This simple yet effective 2/1 for 1 white mana has been reprinted numerous times, including as recently as Foundation's Jumpstart in 2024. The true first cat to actually print the creature type on the card itself happened in 1994 with the set Legends, specifically the card Cat Warriors. This set also included one other cat of note, being the first ever legendary cat in Jedid Ojanen, a mercenary from Ifrava. This set also marked the first appearance of humanoid feline creatures, a concept that most likely took inspiration from cat people in folklore and in stories, but which would evolve over the years to become something uniquely Magic, culminating in the Leonin we know today. These early years of the game would be filled with many specific cat creature types, like tigers, lions, wildcats, and cheetahs. These would later be retroactively given the cat creature type in 2007 during the Grand Creature Update, as the developers realized that it would be better to consolidate the many quite specific creature types littering the game. The second legendary cat in Magic would be introduced here, Miri, a fierce warrior and loyal friend of Gerard, and member of the skyship Weatherlight. Breaking from the tradition of cat warriors and vicious beasts, the joke set Unglued gave us Paper Tiger, the first non-standard legal cat, its name referencing the classic phrase describing something that seems powerful but is ultimately ineffective, a concept humorously reinforced by its flavor text. This card is also part of a trio playing on rock, paper, scissors. All in all, one of the most flavorfully dense cats out there. In the Mirage block, there was one sorcery that ended up producing cat tokens, the card being Wading in the Weeds, but it was not intended to do so, at least when first designed. Interestingly, this card was originally supposed to make squirrel tokens, but due to a misunderstanding of the art prompt, Susan Van Camp drew cats instead, and so the rules text was changed to summon cat tokens rather than redoing the art. The Urza Saga block brought with it 2 cats of note, the first being Pouncing Jaguar, a pivotal 1-drop used in a World Championship deck called Stompy. While the card doesn't hold up nowadays, a 1-mana 2/2 was a big deal at the time, even with the drawback in its rules text. The second cat of note in this block was Wirecat, which was the first artifact cat in the game. For many years, the depiction of cats in Magic remained fairly static. While stories hinted at feline societies, most cards were simple representations of individual creatures, with the rare exception such as Jareth, Leonin, Titan. But that changed dramatically when we arrived on Mirrodin and we were properly introduced to the Leonin as a distinct humanoid creature, one that would be used in variation for years to come. Much like humans, the Leonin would reflect more so the plane they were from than some overarching consistency, outside of the core aspect of what makes them Leonin, such as being bipedal cats. On Mirrodin, the Leonin resided in the Razor Field, with their capital at Taj Nar, the ancient den. Their society was deeply rooted in honor and faith, worshipping the white sun. As inhabitants of Mirrodin, these Leonin bore the metallic features characteristic of this plane. This block is also notable for introducing the race-class combo we are familiar with now, meaning this set came with it the first instances of cat clerics, cat knights, cat soldiers, and cat wizards. Then in Shadowmoor we were introduced to perhaps the most famous Leonin of all, and my favorite character, the planeswalker Ajani, a character so integral to Magic's story that he deserves a deep dive all his own, which, if you're interested, I do have a video on. Just check the link in the comments after this. With Alara, we saw a new take on the Leonin formula established on Mirrodin in the Nacatl of Naya, though these Leonins varied quite dramatically. Some bore a striking resemblance to Mirrodin's Leonin, well, besides the metal plating, while others took on the features distinct of cheetahs or even massive lions. A subset of the Nacatl, known as the Savage Nacatl, rejected the use of weapons and societal structure, embracing their primal nature inherent to the lands of Naya. When we returned to Mirrodin to witness its fall to new Phyrexia, it came with it a change to the Leonin there, much like all the other inhabitants of the plane. These Leonin saw their remaining flesh turned and their shape become more monstrous, some even becoming nothing but sleek metal with flaming cores. Since the beginning of the game, cats in Magic were only represented as large wild or jungle cats or the Leonin humanoid type beings. But then Dark Ascension gave us something different. Ordinary, plain old house cats, like Sanctuary Cat and Black Cat, creatures much closer to the ones that might be sitting on your lap as you're watching this video. Theros brought with it yet another variation on the Leonin formula, this variation resembling the lions of the open African plains. These Leonin were disgraced outcasts, shunned by the human population. Unlike every other sentient faction on the plane, they refused to worship the gods of Theros, choosing instead to carve out their own isolated existence. As the years went on, the creative team stretched the boundaries of what a cat could be. Kaladesh and Aether Revolt gave us strange hybrids. Have you ever seen a cat monkey? A cat dragon? Because those sets certainly made them a reality, as cursed as they are. In contrast, Amonkhet, inspired by ancient Egypt, revisited the concept of more traditional small cats, which makes sense considering ancient Egypt's love of cats. These cats are regal creatures with elongated ears, revered as sacred animals by Oketra, who herself bore feline features. Commander 2017 gave us a celebration of cats, featuring old favorites and introducing Arabo, a mythic figure to whom all cats trace their lineage, a divine figure among their kind. The 2019 Secret Lair drop OMG Kittens reimagined some of the game's classic felines with adorable, fluffy artwork, with my personal favorite being Leonin Warleader. Ikoria saw the odd cats in Kaladesh block and decided to turn it up to 11. Patagia Tiger sported vast wings, Ferocious Tigerilla was a cross between a tiger and a gorilla, and 3 of the set's apex predators, Nethroi, Snapdax, and Vadrox, were all, at least in part, feline hybrids. This set also gave us what may be the most disruptive cat in Magic's history, Lurrus of the Dream Den, a card so powerful that it remains banned in multiple formats. Zendikar gave us some of the most fearsome cats in the game's history, which makes sense on a dangerous plane like this. The Scythe Cat with razor-sharp blades growing from its limbs, and the Felidar, a beast crowned with formidable horns. And on a completely different note, did you know that some Leonin go to school? Strixhaven Silverquill College is home to at least one, the Leonin Light Scribe. When it comes to the more unique takes on the Leonin formula, those of New Capenna stand out. These Leonins seem to resemble the lynx, or even the common house cat, more so than any lion or tiger like previously established with other Leonin. They are most commonly seen in the Cabaretti crime family, though some also work with the brokers. Jumpstart 2022 brought with it a fresh batch of feline reprints, alongside newcomers like Angelic Cub, Runati, and Ingenious Leonin. Years later, when we returned to New Phyrexia with All Will Be One, it showed us that not all Leonin were lost. Some, like Kemba and Leonin Lightbringer, still endured despite the horrors of this plane. Later, when we explored the depths of Ixalan, we found perhaps my favorite take on the Leonin creature, the Malamet Jaguar folk, who fought alongside the humans and merfolk in the Night War. Now, they live deep underground, far removed from the struggles of the surface. Then there was Bloomborough, a set overflowing with charming critters, but its cats were anything but cute. Instead, they were destructive forces who shared the moniker Calamity Beasts with the others of their kind, with standouts like Sunspine Lynx and the Mighty Irgra. In contrast, the felines of Duskmourn, a plane steeped in sorrow, are manifestations of hope and curiosity, a rare bright spot in the otherwise bleak world. And finally, Foundations gave us a nostalgic look at some of Magic's most beloved cats, reprinting many of the game's greatest hits, a fitting tribute to one of the game's most enduring creature types. When asked about where the cat type sits on the Beeble scale, Mark Rosewater gave it a 2, meaning it is very likely to be used in any upcoming set. And looking ahead, we can see that this is indeed true, as Aether Drift promises to bring with it cats from across the multiverse, proving that no matter where Magic takes us next, feline creatures will always have a place in its ever-expanding world. Thanks for watching, and if you like this sort of look at the history of a creature type, then be sure to comment below letting me know which creature type you would like to see me cover next. Should we do a companion video on dogs? I'll leave that up to you. With that, friends, I will catch you in the multiverse. Bye.